The FDA's recent announcement about potentially banning red dye 3 isn't just a headline. It's a long-awaited reckoning. For years, this synthetic coloring has crept into snacks, drinks, and cereals, bringing vibrant reds and hidden risks. Yet, despite mounting concerns, nothing changed until now. Could this be the moment America finally takes a stand for its health? People are calling it a victory for common sense, but others wonder, what took so long? And is this just the beginning of a bigger food industry cleanup? The real question is, will this spark real change, or will it fade like yesterday's news? Red dye 3 has been a staple in American foods for decades, from candy aisles to breakfast tables. Sure, it adds a pop of color, but at what cost? Research has been warning about potential health risks for over 30 years. Yet this dye remained untouched while Europe took swift action. Why? Some say it's because corporate profits overshadow public safety, while others blame outdated policies. Americans are left scratching their heads. How do we get here? And why are our health standards trailing behind? Isn't it time for America to catch up and lead by example? What's the real cost of a bright red snack? Studies link red dye 3 to hyperactivity in kids and even cancer in lab rats. Parents share stories of children turning into whirlwinds after a single popsicle, while scientists warn of dangers lurking in these artificial additives. And it's not just kids. Health advocates are sounding alarms about long-term effects on everyone. If the risks are this clear, why are these dyes still in our food? Is the allure of vibrant candies and cereals really worth gambling with our health? Maybe it's time to ask, how much longer will we accept this? The conversation about red dye 3 has ignited fiery debates across the nation. Social media is ablaze with reactions ranging from triumphant cheers to sharp critiques of the FDA's slow response. Finally, people exclaim, while others vent their frustration. It took decades and countless studies. What's the holdup? Sarcasm isn't in short supply either, with some joking that banning a synthetic dye is America's version of a revolution. The bigger question buzzing through these discussions is clear. If this took so long, how many other harmful substances are flying under the radar? Here's a fact that stings. Europe banned dyes like red dye 3 decades ago, yet Americans are still being served the synthetic leftovers. In countries like France and Germany, these additives are relics of the past, replaced by natural alternatives. Meanwhile, the US food industry has kept them on shelves, raising eyebrows worldwide. Critics ask, is this about outdated policies or corporate influence? When nations across the Atlantic prioritize health over profits, it forces Americans to ask a tough question. Why are we willing to accept standards that others abandoned long ago? Why stick with petroleum-based dyes when nature provides solutions? Beets, turmeric, and spirulina could easily replace synthetic colors, bringing vibrant shades without the risks. Some brands have already embraced these options, but many companies argue it's too expensive or too complicated. Really? If Europe can do it, what's stopping America? The real hurdle isn't logistics. It's the lack of willpower to prioritize health over profit. And here's a thought. If a bag of candy costs a few cents more but keeps kids safer, isn't that a price worth paying? Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Big corporations. For years, critics have accused food giants of putting profits over people, and red dye 3 is Exhibit A. With billions on the line, these companies have lobbied hard to keep synthetic dyes legal, despite mounting evidence of harm. It's no wonder some Americans feel like their health is just another line item on a corporate spreadsheet. Is it really too much to ask for transparency and accountability? Or are we doomed to let big money dictate what ends up on our plates? Even if the FDA officially bans red dye 3 tomorrow, don't expect an instant fix. California's recent law gives food manufacturers until 2027 to make the switch, and let's face it, that feels like a lifetime. Companies argue they need time to find substitutes, update labels, and adjust production lines. But for many Americans, that sounds like just another excuse to drag their feet. After all, how hard can it be to stop using something that's been flagged as harmful for decades? Isn't it time for bold, immediate action instead of endless delays? Here's the truth. None of this would be happening without the collective voice of the people. From social media outcries to petitions and grassroots campaigns, public pressure has forced the FDA to take action after years of inaction. Americans are proving that their voices matter, even against the might of corporate lobbyists. But this raises an important question. What else could we achieve if we keep this momentum going? Could this victory over red dye 3 be the first step toward a complete overhaul of our food system? America has always prided itself on being a land of progress and innovation. Yet when it comes to our food industry, we've lagged behind the curve for far too long. The potential ban of red dye 3 is a step in the right direction, but it's just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. If other nations can lead the way in protecting their citizens from harmful additives, why can't we? It's time to demand better. America deserves healthier food, and it's time to stop accepting anything less. The question is, are we ready to finally take control of what we eat, or will we continue to let the food industry dictate our choices? There's no ignoring the most vulnerable among us, our kids. Parents everywhere are sharing stories about how a single snack, packed with artificial dyes, sent their children into a frenzy. It's not just an inconvenience, it's a real concern for many families. The effects of these dyes are more than just a temporary sugar rush. Studies show that they can affect kids' behavior and development in the long run. Isn't it time to put our children first and remove these harmful additives from the foods they love? Reforms in the food industry don't happen overnight, and this delay has exposed the cracks in the system. As we fight for better food standards, it's clear that corporate interests have held up progress for far too long. The good news? Change is in the air. With the growing awareness and pressure from everyday Americans, it's only a matter of time before we see real reform. But the question remains, how long will we wait for the next big change? Will we stand idly by while another crisis brews, or will we demand action now?